So we have our notes for today. We're going to be solving equations. We're going to start with one-step equations. So first we've got some vocabulary to go over. So solving an equation is using inverse operations to undo an operation to get the variable alone. So we know that we want our variable to be on one side and everything else to be on the other side. So a symbol, usually a letter for a number that is unknown, is called a variable. A lot of times we'll use x. So circle all of the variables in the expression. So just the variables, not the number with it. All it says is to circle the variable. A blank is a number on its own or a fixed value. It's called a constant. It's called a constant because it's not going to change. So circle all of the constants in the expression. So these are not constants. This is a constant. This is a constant. So the reason they're not constants is because they're called coefficients. So when it is attached to a variable, it is a numerical or constant quantity placed before and multiplying the variable in an algebraic expression. So this is my coefficient, the number with the x, the number with the variable. So on these, we're just going to simplify each of these expressions. So -4 minus 6. We're getting, as I like to put it, more negative. I know that is not correct English. But if we're going from -4 and taking away 6, we're getting more negative. So we are going to have a larger number. We're going to have -10. Now on question 2, we got -4.51 plus 11.65. So on number 2, we're getting positive. So we're gaining from a negative. So -4.51 plus, let me see, -4.51 plus 11.65. Let me see this. Make sure I give you all the right answer. 7.14. So we see that we went from a negative to a positive because the positive was larger. Now we've got some fractions. So on question 3, 3/10 minus 3/4. If you don't have a calculator, you're going to have to find a common denominator. So you would have over 20, so this would be 6. Minus over 20, this would be times 5, so 15. 6 minus 15, we have 9/20. And then on question 4, we have the same thing where we have to find a common denominator. So we're going to say 12. So we have to multiply by 4, so -8/12 plus 7/12. So we have -8 plus 7, which is -1. So we're going to go to the second page. So to solve a one-step equation, we're going to blank the variable by using blank or opposite operations. So we're going to isolate the variable by using inverse or opposite operations. So in question 1, we have x minus 4 equals -2. So I want to get everything on this side except for the x. So I want my variable to stay on one side and I want everything else to be with the equal sign. So the opposite of subtracting is adding. But whatever I do on the left, I have to do on the right as well. So these two cancel. -4 plus 4 is 0. X is still left on this side. -2 plus 4 is 2. So then x equals 2. Question 2. N minus 7 is equal to 22.5. So here again, we want to get everything over here. I see this is the only thing attached to this side. I'm going to do the opposite operation so that they can cancel. I want to get n plus 0. N plus 0 is the same thing as n. So n equals, and then 22.5 plus 7, I get 29.5, and that's my final answer. So once you have your variable completely by itself on one side of that equal sign, that's your final answer. We got a couple more. On question 3, we have negative 3/4 y is equal to 9. So on these fraction problems, there's a couple ways that we could do them. I'm going to flip the fraction. So think if I had 1/2, if I want to get rid of it, I multiply by 2. The reason I multiply by 2 is it's 2 over 1. So we see that we're flipping them. So here I'm going to flip the fraction, multiply. That gives me 1y is equal to, I got to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to multiply by negative 4/3. So 9 times negative 4/3, get negative 12. We don't write our answers as 1y or 1x. So this is just y is equal to negative 12. Now in question 4, we have b over 4. It's the same thing as saying b divided by 4. It's the same exact thing. What's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So I'm going to take all of this b over 4 and multiply by 4. So I'm multiplying by 4 to get rid of that division. Got to do the same thing on the right. These two cancel. They give me 1b equals 48. Again, we don't write the 1 in the front, so b equals 48. In question 5, we got 15.9 equals 5.3x. My variable is on the right this time. I'm still going to do everything to isolate the variable. So I'm going to divide by 5.3 because right here they're multiplying. So I need to do the opposite. I have to do the same thing on the left as I do on the right. So that gives me 3 is equal to, these two go to 1. So 3 is equal to 1x. We write our answers. X is equal to 3. If 3 equals x, then x has to equal 3. It's the same thing left to right. So you can flip it when it is an equal sign. Once we work with inequalities and stuff, that will change a little bit. But for right now, we can flip them as we go. Question 6, we got 7x is equal to 21.7. So this is multiplication. I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication. Whatever I do on the left, so it is the left, I'm going to do on the right. 7 divided by 7 is 1. I get 1x. 21.7 divided by 7 is 3.1. 1x equals 3.1 means x equals 3.1. So that is all for these notes. Make sure you watch the other videos as well.